Welcome to thestockminer.com. I'm Brian Johnson, and another little, oh boy, volatile day. We had the gap down, then the bulls bringing it right back up. So, for those of you that were maybe a little bit spooked at the beginning of the day, this is very common. We've talked about this and all the other wave threes, and that is just stand out of the way and let them finish. We had the move down today. This is the common response is to then go, this is it, this is the pullback, got to get short. And if you don't sit around and wait and be patient, you can get your hand slapped very, very quickly in this type of an environment. So for those of you that might have been really tempted to go short this morning at the open, I hope you waited, and I hope you learned to wait to take those type of entries. The charts have got to prove it to you before I make those type of moves. Now, waking up down 6 points, oh, job numbers are bad, blah blah blah. I want you to always keep this in mind. Job numbers are always bad. Even if it moves from 10% to 9.6%, it's still bad. Now, the news will spin it, and they'll say, "Oh, how isn't it wonderful? Economic recovery, here we come." Yeah, woohoo! We went from 10% to 9.6%. I'm sure all those unemployed people are ecstatic about that. So, job numbers just are what they are. The markets aren't necessarily affected by those job numbers anymore. If they happen to drop hard on a Friday or rally hard on a Friday because of the job numbers, quite honestly, I think it's more of an excuse than the actual economic data. It's just, oh, hey, job numbers are up. Why don't we just run this thing up type of a thing. So always be a little bit more level headed when it comes to these approaches. So, anyway, gap down, bad news. Didn't take long for the bulls to buy it up. Where are we? We'll wrap it up. We'll get into the weekend. We'll talk again about it um, on Sunday. But here's what I think I'm seeing here. One, for all you eliticians, one, two, three, four, five is done, almost done, could be done up here, could be done at 11,500, we don't know yet. But I think when this finishes and starts to pull back, that will be the end of the third wave. I'm not convinced yet that we're in the final fifth wave here. I think this might have been four of the bigger three. Now we're finishing five of this bigger three. Okay, so anyway, point being, I don't think we're quite done yet, to be quite honest. When the pullback happens, I expect it to maybe come back into one of these areas here. Still a very, very decent pullback when it happens, and I think it's going to come sometime next week, beginning, mid, somewhere around that time. I think it'll come somewhere in that time frame. However, until it does, just be patient. It's a wave three. Just stand out of the way. If you're not long, then what are you doing? Or if you're not short in a wave three down, what are you doing? You're just trying to call top, just trying to call bottoms. You're going to destroy your account. So, playing this wave three up, my break for you was above 1200, above the 11.2 mark if you're playing the Dow. And look how well it played out for us. Very, very well. If you're hanging out and you're following along, if you just took profits at the end of the day, which I kind of recommended you might want to do because we're coming into the weekend and I knew we were close to the top, you made 130 or 138 points, yeah, something to that effect by the time we were all done. 180 points. You got to take, the fact that you don't get in right at these numbers. So, I can brag and say, yeah, you made 182 points, but that's not feasible. I'm not going to call the top and the bottom, but we're going to take a chunk out of the middle. But 150 points is definitely feasible on the play the last 2 days. So I just hope you guys have been following along here. Dow Daily, same thing. Look, we're still trying to push that thing up. They are not quite done yet trying to shove this thing to the upside. Once again, getting very stretched, getting very extended. I'll talk more about it on Sunday. Point being, for the week, doing very, very well in all of the indices. NASDAQ up and above 2180. It held 2180 even on the gap down today. I think I mentioned this 2180. And now here we go. We push upwards, pushing forward. So next level, 2190. Finished just above it today, with 2200 being the next major level to get over. Once again, just be very, very cautious. Trying to go long up in these areas. Talk more about it on Sunday. Still right here, back to the top of this strong overhead resistance level. Let's see what happens over the weekend, and especially where we open on Monday. But pullback's coming. Could be a shallow pullback, could be a high base. However you want to figure it. Point is, we're going to stop going up here in the next day or two. And then I think we're going to either pull back, move sideways, something to that effect. So it might get kind of boring first part of next week if we decide to roll sideways. But markets are what they are. You just follow them, play along. Here we are right back to the top of this too on a weekly, looking very strong. Look, now obviously last week, 4 days, abbreviated trading, so we won't compare it to that, but decent moves today. Certainly nothing to be, I don't know, too bearish on quite yet. Just be very cautious bullish in the short term. Internals look good, especially towards the end of the day. They really started to pick up and the bulls really took over. Go figure, into a Friday. That's very common, especially in the Christmas seasons. Here we are right back at the top of this as well. Like I said, a little 1, then a 2, then I think all part of a 3 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we done with this? Yes, no, maybe, could be, don't know. I'm going to be looking to the 12 to 1210 area for a pullback, somewhere back in this area here before it's all over with. Would love to see it come all the way back and retest this line right here. I love retests of things. So if this thing gets back to 1200, that should make for a very good opportunity to maybe play it short for a while. But overall, guys, don't get too bearish here. I really am still bullish coming into the holiday season. 1224, looking at it here on a daily, you can see almost towards 1227. Not quite double topping, but very, very close. Just watching those levels coming into early next week. Let's see if those hold. Up and above that, I'd have to go back and look, but maybe 1235-ish, somewhere 1230, 1235-ish, whatever. Just be very cautious in here. Weekly looking great. Look how it held the 200 week, launched off of that. So doing very well from a weekly as well. Things starting to pick up. VIX way down today, back into this channel. I was expecting maybe to hold on this blue line here. No such luck. VIX looking very, very weak in this area, meaning that look at the big weekly candle here. Showing you the volatility within the volatility index. Crazy, huh? Just no panic. No panic. We had our close above 2350. The next day it did not hold. For the week it did not hold. So here we are, right back into the Christmas season, giving us lots of room to the downside, meaning opportunity for more upside moves in the markets as far as the VIX is concerned. Apple kind of playing around here. I'm going to adjust some lines and try to get this a little bit tighter. I think I can include a little bit more information here and show you that it is starting to get a little tired up in here. I just cannot seem to find its footing. NASDAQ, all that stuff up. NASDAQ up a good 0.5%, but Apple didn't play along. Has a mind of its own, which is typical for Apple, but we'll watch this into next week, continuing to watch this 314, 315 area and the 320 area in the shorter term for your trades there. Right back up towards the double top here. There's that 320 on a weekly. Look at how these candles are getting really, really tiny up here. Just not a lot of trading going on right now. I could be just consolidating for a breakout once again. Looking at those levels, continue to watch those into the weekend and into next week. The weekly finishing right up towards the top, so any move towards the upside next week, or maybe even late next week, could really, really help springboard Apple into the holiday season. Then above that, it could be anywhere, 340, 350, or above. FAS, same type of thing. Pull back, come back, retest the support line I have drawn in here, and from there, touch and go. Taken straight off. So here you go on the touch of this line and the takeoff. Now, for me, I live near an Air Force base, so these type of dojis right here, they call them rickshaw or whatever you want to call them. I like this one. I'm going to name it the B1. This doji right here, it's called the B1. See, touch and go right here. Hit this bottom line, it took off. Love the touch and goes. We get to watch those out here with the B1s as they they do a touch and go off the Air Force base out here. I love watching it. It's so cool. All right, FAS on a daily, also breaking up and over a lot of these areas here. Here was the move back down, then the push back up over 24. You kind of had to catch it at the beginning of the day. Otherwise, there really wasn't a whole lot to play with in FAS. FAZ doing the same thing with the gap up, only to come back down. It broke $11, which was the place to get short, but like I said, 10 cents, okay. I mean, it's something for the week, and it's not a loss. But this is in the same type of boat. These are getting very extended to the downside. But as long as these things keep breaking these levels, just keep going short. No reason to start buying up FAZ quite yet. I know a lot of you like to call tops and bottoms, but be very, very careful with these plays down here. Okay, that'll do it. FAS on a daily, then same type of thing. Coming down, looking at this 10... What is this, 1050, 10, I don't know what this is, 1020-ish area down in here. 1040, I think, is what it is, 1050, somewhere, I think it's 1050. So watch this for your lower support. I'll talk about it again on Sunday. Okay, that'll do it for today's video. That'll do it for the weekend video. If you played along, yes, it took us a little while to get going, but once the markets broke, I told you more conservative plays were below and above. We had one fake breakdown towards the below here to start everything. Rest of the markets didn't follow. Should have been out of it. Once we broke above here, this was it. Should have been in it. Should have stayed in it. Could have made good money. If you happen to take the trade short, yeah, you lost a little bit on this, but you made more than enough on it on this particular trade here. Welcome to the markets. You cannot be perfect in this market. It is impossible to be perfect in the markets. What you look for are good opportunities. You take those opportunities. They either work or they don't, but you cut your losses short. Move on with life and look for the better plays. In this case, the one to the upside turned out to be a fantastic play. Hope you guys were watching, and we'll see you again on Sunday. Bye.